Alright, so today I want to show you some of my best ball python hatchlings of 2020. Some of the really cool stuff that I produced this year. And most of these I actually marked as holdbacks. I'm going to hold them back as future breeders. My holdbacks are kind of interesting. I have these little stickers that says holdback. And usually when I first start the year, what I'll do is I'll mark some snakes as a holdback. And then I get further into the year and I'll make pretty much the same thing with a few additional genes. And I'll move my holdback stickers around. And then I get to the end of the year and I'll have like 12 holdbacks. And I'll be like, alright, I don't have enough rack space and I need to reduce the number of holdbacks. It's always kind of a struggle trying to figure out what you're going to keep, especially if you maintain like the same size of a breeding operation versus if you're like continually expanding. And I'm not sure exactly how far I want to expand, but I have some pretty cool hatchlings I wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start pulling hatchlings out of my hatchling racks and I'll show you the best of the best for 2020. Alright, so take a look at this crazy snake. This is my #1 hatchling of 2020. This is actually a visual desert ghost, a super pastel desert ghost, and this is a female. Pretty amazing combination, and it's kind of funny on this one. I actually had one of my females I bred to a visual desert ghost, and I didn't know that female was het desert ghost at all. I just kind of randomly bred my visual desert ghost to that female, and come to find out it was het for desert ghost, and I popped out this crazy looking snake. I couldn't even believe it. And I actually did an egg cutting on this before it hatched out, and we kind of peeked in the egg and I saw this pattern. When we peeked in the egg, I saw this kind of crazy neck pattern right here in the egg, and I was like, what in the world is that? That is something I've never seen before, and I had no clue, because sometimes if you produce something and you don't know the genes, you're kind of scratching your head. And come to find out, when it actually popped out and shed and it turned really bright like this, the only thing that's super bright like this is a visual desert ghost with the combination of pastel. This happens to be 2 copies of the pastel. And kind of the crazy thing is I was showing this on one of my videos and some guy offered me some crazy money for it, and I was like, I think I'm going to hold on to it because I really want to get into the desert ghost project. These are really awesome. I actually have 2 visual desert ghosts that I bred together this year, and they didn't actually lay eggs, which was kind of a bummer. It was the 2nd year breeding that desert ghost, and this year she was 3 years old and still didn't lay. She's been driving me crazy, so I couldn't believe I actually produced this is actually a super pastel. So on the other one I could have produced the same thing if my visual desert ghost would have actually laid, but I'm definitely going to keep this back as a future breeder. And I just probed it again. I'm going through and probing all these snakes. This one is definitely a female. Look at the head on that crazy thing. Really crazy head, like a bright white head. Really crazy looking head on that. And take a look at the belly on this. I haven't really looked at this too much in detail. It's been eaten really good. It's probably eaten almost like 3 dozen meals or something like that. The belly's like pretty wiped out as far as any pattern. This is definitely, I'd say, the best of the best. Probably my most expensive and my brightest and my flashiest, and it's a female to boot, which is really awesome. That thing is crazy. Alright, so take a look at this one, how big it's getting. Pretty amazing. I can't believe this one seems like it's eating every single thing that I throw in the tub. It's kind of crazy. And sometimes, you have certain hatchlings that get slightly bigger mice every single time, and they just seem like they grow a lot faster than the rest. This is a really amazing combination. This has a lot of genes in it. This is actually a super pastel calico Enchi 100% het desert ghost, and it's a female, which is pretty awesome. So if I actually bred this with another visual desert ghost, I could get some of the really bright hatchlings like I showed you, like the #1. I could produce some of those, and I could produce some of those with the Enchi. And it's weird how in this case the calico is really fading out the color on the whole snake. It's really interesting. Sometimes the calico works kind of unexpected in a lot of combinations. Sometimes it can really fade it out, and sometimes it can produce like a really high contrast with a lot of white splotches on the side. It can be really variable. And this guy, you can tell maybe he's going into shed just a little bit, but even not going into shed, it seems like this one is really faded out. Really awesome combination of all those genes. So it'll probably be maybe 2 or 3 years before this girl is up to size to breed, but that is definitely going to be one of my holdbacks. All right, so take a look at this crazy snake. This is my number 3 best snake of the year. This one is a bamboo calico pastel pinstripe. So this is also one of Bobby's grandkids. And the cool thing about this is I just probed it, and this is a male, which is really awesome. So I can actually take this maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years. As a matter of fact, I actually tried to breed some of my males when they were 1 year old, and it seems like they don't breed for me very well. So I'll probably wait for 2 years on this guy to breed it into some other stuff. But all these genes are co-dominant, so I can actually breed this to something else and reproduce this and work other genes into it, which is awesome. Probably the first thing I'd breed this to is some of my desert ghost stuff and see if I can produce some bamboo desert ghosts with all these crazy genes in it. Pretty awesome combination. And I was so happy that this one was a male because I really wanted to breed this to a bunch of stuff. It's, with a lot of these multi-gene combos, I think it's a little better to have some males so you can breed them right away versus the females. A lot of times you have to wait 3 years, and then if you breed them, sometimes they don't go, and it's just like a one clutch thing. Versus a male, you can actually spread around a male. I have a lot of really low end stuff, so I could actually breed this to like a normal and still get a whole bunch of crazy stuff like lemon blasts and calico bamboos and all kinds of crazy stuff. Really powerful breeder. All right, so take a look at this crazy snake. I can't even believe I hatched this one out this year. This is my number 4 best ball python hatchling of 2020. Look at how tiny it is. This one started out, I think it was actually twins in the egg, and I think one of the twins died, and this was the other one that was like half the size of a regular ball python. Super small and super skinny. And kind of the crazy thing about this is even before the first shed, I actually threw in a little mouse pinky, like a tiny pinky mouse, and that was alive, and it actually ate it before the first shed, which is kind of crazy. And it's actually eaten 3 meals already, and I can't believe I haven't had to assist feed, and it's doing fantastic. Kind of wild. And this one, I'm pretty sure what this one is. I think this is a pastel yellow belly spider pied. So it's actually a visual pied with 2 copies of the pied gene, and it's also 100% het albino. Lots of genes in this guy, and it's kind of crazy. I actually produced this breeding my albino pied. I have a visual albino pied male, and I bred that to my bumblebee. The bumblebee was possible het pied. Come to find out it was, because I produced this pied looking snake. And then the spider pushes all the color to the head, and then the yellow belly, it's kind of hard to tell on this one if it actually has yellow belly in it, but I'm thinking it does, because the combination of the yellow belly and the pastel usually really brightens the head to this brighter yellow, which is kind of cool on this guy. Really awesome combination. So I'm pretty sure I'm actually gonna hold this one back as a future breeder. So take a look at that cute little snake. What a cute little face on this guy. That guy is so cute. And this is a pretty amazing combination. This is the combination of the coral glow with the pinstripe. Really amazing combo. And I actually bred my coral glow to a pinstripe. I produced 2 of these. This is also 50% het pied. I'm thinking it might be het pied because the pattern in this one's quite a bit more jumbled up than my other one. I actually produced 2 of them. I'm thinking maybe I'll actually sell one of them and keep. I was kind of debating if I wanted to keep both of them and then kind of prove them out. These are both males because my coral glow was a male maker. I don't even have to probe this one. I can almost guarantee it's a male. I actually should go in and probe these at some point and figure out 100% if they're. Pretty much every single coral glow I've ever produced was a male, and this one's kind of interesting. It has a really jumbled up pattern on the side, and I think that's from the influence of the het pied. So probably what I'll do, I'll probably just save this one and then sell the other one. Even if it's not het pied, it's a really amazing combination. And this pretty much replaces my coral glow that I have, assuming that this one is actually 100% het pied, because I actually have the coral glow 100% het pied. I was actually shooting for a coral glow pied, which I may shoot for next year. I might breed that coral glow to my pied. If I actually produce a coral glow pied, I'll actually it's kind of interesting. the more you breed, the more you kind of have obsolete snakes. Some of your other ones, you're always constantly upgrading to the newest, greatest combination of genes, and your collection slowly improves over there. That's why a lot of new guys, when they're first starting out, kind of like me, I've only been into it for like 5 years. I have all these normals and pinstripes and stuff like that. And then as the more you're into it, the more your collection really kind of upgrades over the years, and you get better and better snakes. It's kind of interesting. A lot of people, sometimes it's hard to catch up with people because some people have such amazing animals, and it'd be almost, you know, out of your budget to buy into that stuff. This one's a really good looking snake. I absolutely love these coral glow pinstripes. All right, so I think we're on number 6. Quite a few. This is my 6th best ball python hatchling of 2020. So this one, essentially what this is just a super pastel. 2 copies of the pastel. Look at how it really jumbles up the pattern and fades out the head. This one is also 100% het desert ghost. So I can actually reproduce some of the really super bright desert ghosts with this one. And the cool thing about this is everything I breed to this will come out as either pastel, or if I breed it to a pastel, it'll come out as super pastel. Or if I actually bred another super pastel male to this one, every single offspring and the whole clutch would all be super pastel, which is pretty cool. And this one's kind of interesting. It has kind of a white background on the kind of the dark spots. Sometimes it can be more of a yellow, sometimes it can be like a solid black, and sometimes it can be kind of white, a little bit of white right in there. Really amazing snake. And this girl, this is a female. She's getting really chunky already. I can't believe how well some of these are eating. Some of them are eating really well, and some of them are just really super picky and kind of lagging behind. But that is a really amazing super pastel. All right, so take a look at this one. This is a pretty cool hatchling. The first time I ever produced this is a pastel calico, just 2 genes in the mix, which is pretty awesome. I absolutely love what the calico does to the pastel. It really opens up the alien heads and gives you these white splotches on the side, which is pretty awesome. And a lot of times the calico will also give you kind of this sandblast appearance. You can kind of see it in little parts of the snake, which is pretty awesome. And this one, I'll probably eventually sell this one over on Morphmarket. And kind of the problem with this one is it would not eat for the first month, and I finally had to resort to assist feeding this one, and it's actually assist fed 3 times. Hopefully this next time it'll actually take a mouse on its own without actually having to assist feed. And once you get it past the initial phase, you know, it's really difficult sometimes to get some hatchlings to eat, but usually once you get about a dozen meals into them, they'll eat just about anything. So this guy probably still has another, you know, 6 to 8 weeks before I'll finally list it over on Morphmarket. All right, so take a look at this one. This is just a straight bamboo, possible het desert ghost. And the cool thing about this is actually Bobby's grandkid. the snake that I have around my neck at the beginning and the end of the videos, that is Bobby. And this is one of Bobby's offspring's hatchlings. So it's like a couple generations down from Bobby. And a lot of people think, hey, bamboo's not that fancy. But let me tell you, this is, I was thinking, you know, if anything ever happened to Bobby, I definitely want to keep his lineage going. So I definitely want to keep at least 1 bamboo from Bobby. As a matter of fact, I have another bamboo. As a matter of fact, I actually have a couple more bamboos. I have a bamboo lesser, which is a blue-eyed leucistic. I also have a bamboo lemon blast, which is the bamboo pastel pinstripe, but I didn't really have another straight bamboo. And this one happens to be a female, which is pretty cool. So I could actually breed another bamboo to this one, and then we'd actually get a lot of bamboos, but we'd also get the super bamboo, which is an all-white snake, which would be really cool, breeding a bamboo to a bamboo. So I'm definitely going to hold back this one so we could produce some amazing super bamboos. All right, so there you have it. Those are some pretty awesome hatchlings for 2020. I actually did a quick count. It looks like I'm going to hold back about 9 of those, which is pretty awesome. That will definitely upgrade my collection. And kind of the hard part is with those holdbacks, it takes about 3 years for those females to be ready. So a lot of times you're sitting on females for about 3 years before you can actually move them into your breeding plan and slowly replace some of the lower end stuff. I have quite a few normals, and it's kind of interesting watching some of these really big breeders that have been been into ball pythons for like 20 years, you look back at some of their original videos and they're talking about their pinstripes and their normals, and kind of like where I am. Sometimes it takes like 20 years to actually upgrade your whole collection where you're producing a whole bunch of really awesome stuff. So that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.